Hello, and welcome to the Forge. I'm Blacksmith Farva, and today we're going to be voicing over the game Tusks, the Orc Dating Simulator. This one comes highly recommended from the Discord. And based on their reactions, I know I'm going to regret playing this. But let's get into it. Tusks. Every year, as the rush of green heralds spring, the orcs of the Kingdom of Elba begin their pilgrimage. They walk from the cities, emerge from the woods, rise out of the sea, and climb out from the deep underground to travel to a place in the borderlands of Elba, a forested glade known as the Green. With their arrival, the Green is transformed. The trees glow with the light of hundreds of lanterns, fire pits are prepared for great feasts, a nearby hot spring becomes a communal bath, and the old ruins of the woods become temporary shelter for the orcish folk. The Great Orcish Assembly is called Ua. The Ua is a chance for orcs to celebrate together, to laugh, to eat and drink with one another, and to share stories. It is a chance to settle grievances with forgivenesses or fighting, to mourn the passing of revered figures, to forge new relationships, new families, and new ways of life. It is a chance to come together as a united front, as one diverse people. If only for a few nights each year. It's the final day of Ua, and many of the orcs are preparing to leave to begin the new year of their lives. Many leave in different groups to the one they arrived with. You've been looking for a group that's heading north, to the Highlands of Elba, that you can accompany, and you've found what looks like a suitable group of orcs preparing to leave soon. All you have to do is convince them to take them with you.
Alright, so, you're interested in heading up north. I'm traveling with a group of men, headed by myself and my husbands. We're making our way to the northmost port of Elba. We're happy to take any man interested in like company, and I'm sure we could take one more. But, well, it depends. What was it you said your name was?
My name is Blacksmith Farva. You can find me on twitch.tv as well as YouTube.
Pleasure to meet you, Farva. My name's Rar. Well, I'd like to know who's coming with me on these trips before I make any decisions. So what I'm going to do is have a quick word with a few folks here who might have heard of you. If the word on you is good, then you can come with me. If not, well, it depends on what you've been up to. Everyone's got a past, after all. In the meantime, why not have a chat with some of the folks in our group over there? You can get to know some of the people you might be traveling with. See if you're a good fit.
Roar motions to a cluster of orcs near the edge of the clearing, sitting together and chatting with one another.
I'll be back to speak with you in a few moments.
You walk over to the group. There are 6 of them in total, all sitting in a circle of small boulders in the shade of the trees. There are 2 large, heavily built orcs who appear to be in deep conversation at the center of the group. A pair sitting beside one another in the grass, looking over the rest of the group in silence. And another 2, an orc and a boar-like grace, who seem to be intermittently listening to the 2 orcs who are speaking and whispering between themselves. The orcs look up at you as you approach, and one of them addresses you. Hello there! Did Roar send you over? My name is Cendric. I'm one of the clan chiefs governing this group. What's your name? I'm Blacksmith Farva. Nice to meet you, Farva. Come in and join us. Pull up a boulder. We'll be leaving the Green shortly, just as soon as Roar's convinced we've got everything we need. He likes to be thorough. Hey everyone, this is Farva. He might be joining us on the road. I am Melgum. Well met, Farva. A pleasure to meet you, Farva. I am Sithrig. You head over to a patch of grass where Melgum is sitting. You take your place beside him. Melgum doesn't seem to make any overt gesture to recognize that you've sat next to him. But out of the corner of your eye, you notice him quickly looking over at you before turning back with a discreet smile. So, Farva, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why are you heading up north, if I might ask? I'm looking for a new partner. Centric gives you an understanding nod. I appreciate your forthrightness. I can understand where you're coming from. Ua is a very free place, and while you're here, you have ample opportunity for connections, alliances, and debauchery. But when it's over, and the crowds disappear without you, it can be very lonely. I think you're taking the right approach, though, Farva. I'm forthright in that I have 2 men that care for me deeply, and keep that loneliness at bay. Malgrim here, and Roar, whom I believe you've met already. I hope you find someone, for however long you need them, a lifetime, a year, a month, the duration of our trip, or maybe just an hour. I can definitely provide an hour of my day for you, Farva. You notice Roar walking back over to the group.
Thank you for waiting, Farva. Well, I've asked around, and I've not yet heard anything that's given me pause. You're more than welcome to come along with us.
Welcome to the group, Farva. We're glad to have you. Roar looks around the campsites, and then to the other crowds moving through the trees and across the clearing.
We should have one more coming with us. I met him earlier today and told him to meet us here, but he must have gotten lost.
Have any of you talked to a man named Ad? Well, that's me! Wait for me! A young man bursts through the trees and clumsily stumbles over to the group. He's obviously been looking for you for some time. I'm sorry I'm late. I got confused a bit, and I found a group that I thought was yours. But then it turned out that they were going over the sea. And then I tried to find you, but nobody would tell me where to go. And I met this weird guy. And he said that I had to pay money to be here. But I don't have any money on me. And he said,
Slow down, slow down. It's all fine. Just take a moment to breathe.
The young man stops and takes a few heaving breaths.
Everyone, this is Ad.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Ad. A few other members of the group greet the young man in a courteous fashion. Thank you for having me, everyone.
Ad's here from the northern colleges. He's studying orcish folk, and he asked if he could come along, learn more about our way of life, that sort of thing. Morgan, you might find that you and Ad have a lot in common, being that you're both familiar with these city colleges.
You must be an exceptional student if your institution allowed you to join the orcish group. The colleges typically do not allow it in case we tempt you into sin and depravity, as we are wont to do. Now, I don't know anything about being exceptional. I'm just here to do my best. I'll probably have a lot of questions for you all later. I hope you don't mind if I seem nosy. In any case, I'm glad to be here at last.
All right, now that we are assembled, I'd like to make sure each knows the other, as well as the plan for the journey. I am Roar. Some of you, like Ferndag, will know me from previous journeys we've made together. Others, Ad, Farva, Sithrig, Grong, and Broging. I have only met with you the last few days. I will guide the group as chieftain, along with 2 others. Sindrig and Malgom.
If you need any help during our journey, come to us, and we'll do what we can. But if you ask Roar for something, and don't like the answer, don't think you can come running to us instead.
Every clan needs a clan guard to protect it, and ours is Ferdag here.
Hiya.
Ferdag's an accomplished fighter. He's fought off the victors on Orcish land, stood his ground before raiding parties, even killed a rim with fangs snapped out of its own gum.
Hey, hang on a second. That last one isn't exactly what happened.
He'll keep you safe if you ever need it. Do likewise for him. The group will be heading north through quiet roads to Loudonhill. We'll cross Clyde to make West Highland Way. Travel through Great Glen. We cross Clyde to take the West Highland Way. Travel through Great Glen. Walk northeast along the road from Inverness, and on to the northmost point of Alba. From there, we sail to the home of our ancestors. The Isles of Orkney. I've estimated the journey will take us a fortnight, 14 days, depending on the road conditions, unforeseen incidents and possible changes to our path. Sithrig, Farva, Gronum, Ad, Broken. As travelers along this road with us, you are welcome to leave us when you see fit, or accompany all the way to our destination. The choice is yours. And with that, I think we're ready to begin our journey.
There's another matter to attend to before we leave. The turn of the year gives us a chance to change ourselves in accordance with our will. Granting a name to our collective will allow us to invoke its power.
Malcolm is right. We should give a name to our group. Something like the Highland Ward Fraternity. Or the Tuscan Raiders. Maybe that one's a bit violent for a group of travelers. The Roar Corps? That sounds good.
Are there any suggestions which are not distinctly terrible? What about the Blacksmith Farvas? Oh, I'm not sure about it. I don't think so. Against. Hey, I'm all for that. No thanks. I can accept that. I'm afraid not. Fantastic.
I like the Eternal Group.
I'm not so sure about that. I don't think so. 4. Hey, I'm all here for that. Suits me. I can accept that. Fantastic.
All right, then it's decided. From now on, we're the All right, it's decided. From now on, we're the Eternal Group.
Or we should get a move on soon. We don't want to be one of the last groups leaving the green.
That's true. All right, everyone. It looks like we're ready to leave. Let's get the rest of our gear and head off.
You join the rest of the group in getting all of your equipment together. In less than a minute, you begin marching through the forest with your newfound companions by your side. As you pass under the various festival paraphernalia and into the dense tree line, you look back and watch as the green fades from view, the vibrant atmosphere growing quieter, and the sound of the forest wildlife taking its place. Light surrounding the green dims as you move further into the wood, and before long, it blends seamlessly into the forest atmosphere. The Ua vanishes in a sea of green, and you are no longer present within the sacred lines. An unusual nervous energy manifests throughout your body and vibrates across your senses. It's a strange sensation that's difficult to translate. There do not appear to be words for it. It takes some time for the group to navigate from the forest. When you finally reach the tree line, you see a road stretching off in the distance across the rolling hills. The sun is already descending from its noontime peak. There's still plenty of daylight left for the first stage of the journey north. Ad is leaving ahead. Ad is striding ahead, leading the group through the hills, with a tall selkie, Grom, walking beside him. The pair seem to be engaged in conversation. Behind them, Clan Chief Sendrig is making steady, measured footsteps, his cane tapping the soil along the path underfoot. A little way in front of you, the other Clan Chief, Roar, is talking with Frendrig, the clan guard. You can hear snippets of their conversation. They seem to be discussing the area around you. Off to the side of the path, the Grace Synthrig and Brogang, the scholar, are holding a conversation in hushed tones. It seems like they're trying to discreetly talk about someone in the group. And far behind them, you see Clan Chief Meldrum walking at his own leisurely pace. You walk over to Roar and Frendrig, listening to snippets of their conversation as you approach. It seems the two are in deep discussion already, so you should wait for a lull in the conversation first. I don't think we should stay on this road for too long, Roar. All it takes is us running into a group of armed humans, or a farmer to report wandering band of orcs, and that's it for us.
You're not wrong. We're safe for a little while, though. At least until we pass the border. We're safe for a little while, though. At least until we pass the border of Fiefdom.
What? Why?
Well, many of the people living here. Many of the people here have orcish blood in them. With Ua happening so close by, the appeal of disappearing into the woods to join a bunch of orcs partying could be an overpowering one.
No kidding.
The previous Lord of Fiefdom even bore orcish lineage. You know, his great-grandmother was one of us. So the people of the region are willing to turn a blind eye to us, even if those in power and authority would rather see us removed.
Things aren't like how they used to be.
I don't know. In a way, they've never really changed.
As the conversation reaches a natural pause, you walk up to the pair. Hiya, Farva. How's it going?
Good to see you, Farva.
How long have you two known each other? Roar and Frederick exchange dubious, quizzical looks. That's a very good question. Roar, any ideas?
Didn't we meet up at the Ua when you ran off with those two mages? The ones that had completely authentic, not made up, on-the-spot nature ritual.
No, it had to have been before that, when the storm of Argus was hitting the green. We were both there when lightning struck the guy pretending to be a sky orc, remember? And hey, don't think I don't remember you using your priestly wiles and talking about how you were an expert in ritual magic in front of them. Then mysteriously disappearing for an hour.
It was my duty to provide assistance in ritual magic at the Ua. I'm an expert in it, and we had an amazing time together. In spite of their lackluster knowledge of the Grove rites. Anyway, if we knew each other by Sky Orc time, it means we would have met the year before, because you were paying me back for getting you out of the pit after you got talked into that quest.
Ah, yes, the great pork quest. Long may the tradition be upheld.
So, to answer your question, Farva, we've known each other for a long time.
Probably too long.
That's just what happens when you find a good clan guard. You don't want to have to build up trust with someone else. And in spite of all the weird and wonderful events that we may have gotten entangled in, our hero Frederick still protects us when we need him most.
And how? These muscles aren't just for show. Orc claps a hand on Frederick's shoulder and gives you both a broad smile.
He's a warrior, clan guard, Makarogran champion, and a laugh too. Whatever you need, Frederick will have your back, Farva. Believe you me.
Oh, you're a big softy after all, Roar. Hey Farva, come and find me once we make camp, and I'll let you in on a few of our lesser-known heroic folktales of Frederick the Hero, alright? I promise you won't regret it.
You certainly never seem to regret much, Frederick.
Spend the next few hours walking and talking with Roar and Ferdeg, who each try to embarrass one another with tales of dubious authenticity. After a while, you're no longer able to make out the forest that hosted the Ua behind you. The hills have risen to hide the woods from view. As you travel the winding road through the hill with your companions and group, you pass close to a handful of human homesteads and farms spread across the hills. It seems all the people that work the fields nearby, or passing you on the road, cast nothing your way but the briefest glance. A glance that's over within a second. You consider that this is because of the green being nearby. Orcish groups must be common sights on these roads. But despite that, you notice an undertone of trepidation. Although there is nothing physical to confirm this, you can't help but feel the disinterest that they pay you is entirely feigned. Noticing the passage of Orcish groups by pretending not to notice. It's hard to say what that means. The members of the group spend the next few remaining hours of the trip marching alongside or behind one another. Although spirits are high and everyone is eager to make headway on the trip, the group begins to slow down and takes longer to recover during brief rests. And the sun falls closer and closer to the western horizon.
All right, everyone. I think it's time that we stopped and set up camp. We've made very good progress today, so thank you each of you. You deserve a break.
Nearby is a glade where the waters meet, outside of the village of Elvenfoot, that is oft-used by Orcish travelers. If we settle down there, we can set up our tents before sundown. With that, you and your companions depart from the main road and navigate down into the valley. A small settlement can be seen a short way in the distance. The group settles down in a small glade amongst nearby trees, sheltered by a low hill. Each member of the group begins to unpack the furs and fabrics that they carry with them, hanging them over tree branches and loose wood to create tents and coverings. It doesn't take long, but by the time the members of the group are done, the sun has set, and the only light comes from the campfire and flickering lanterns. Thanks for joining us in the Forge, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.